He's done it! 4! Balotelli! Aguero! Cahill! Cahill! Tim Cahill has done it again! What a goal by Tim Cahill!
Hello everybody and welcome to the Premier League Nightclub podcast. My name is Damon and with me I just have Sam. Sam, this is our first ever episode together.
It's the first one without Woody on an episode as well.
Yeah,
so
this is it.
It's not been tried and
we've
tested.
gone co-op for the first time.
We have to go co-op. I mean, he's not liking handing the reins over, is he? He doesn't like. He likes to be in control. It's going to be an interesting thing for him to listen to the episode coming back because I know, and we both know how much he likes to have his hand in things that go on behind the scenes here.
Yeah, well, you were actually just talking to me off air about how he didn't make a big deal about going away, but I was like, nah, Sam, you've missed for the last 3 weeks. It's when I'm away, when this is happening, and I'm away.
I can just imagine it being when I'm away. Make sure you guys do this, that, this, and this. I'm going to have everything ready for you. Just make sure you've got it ready. I want this to be good. I can't have the bad sound quality. Make sure the room is soundproof. Everything.
He's going to. Oh, no doubt, we're going to cop messages at some outrageous times as well, because his sleeping pattern is horrific.
At the best of times.
Yeah, so imagine him when he's over in Europe. He's going to be talking to us, messaging us at some strange times, questioning about things we've done on this pod. But we'll give it our best shot. How long is he away for? Again, three episodes?
I think
this is one of 3 episodes.
Episodes.
All right. Now, Sam, it's probably best that we start off on the lowest point that we're going to be talking about this episode, and that's something that's happening in our own backyard, and it needs to be addressed. So, Sam, do you just want to kick off and explain what's been happening in Australia and what we're doing to help?
So for those that don't know, being an Australian podcast, there's some really severe bushfires going on at the moment all over the country, which has affected thousands of people's homes. A few people have gone missing. I think 500,000 animals have died.
The pictures are so sad.
It's devastating, and I'm sure you would have seen it over social media and whatnot, but because it's a issue that's really close to our hearts, we've decided to for the next upcoming round of the Premier League, we're going to donate $30 for every goal scored, and that's going to go towards the
straight to the bushfire recovery.
Straight to the bushfire recovery. And if you want to know how you can also help donate to what is a really important cause,
well, it's pretty much, first of all, if you'd like to know more, feel free to message us and we'll direct you into the right places.
Yeah.
Also, a simple Google search, you can quickly find where to donate. But also, with that $30 per goal, it is also involving some of the friends of the nightclub, so they've chipped in as well. And if you do want to be a part of that, and maybe even after we figure out how people want to donate, if they want to donate with us, we might even be able to increase that number after the weekend. Does that make sense, Sammy?
Yeah, that makes sense. So, if you want to donate, just DM us.
Yeah,
we'll give you the link to what we're donating to. And
if there is a sort of a Fund Me page, which will obviously go straight to the bushfires that we'll set up, that'll be all over the socials.
Yeah.
So make sure to hit that up. Keep an eye out. Thank you to Lucy Zelich, who will be mentioning us on the World Game SBS as well. So if you've heard of us through that, thank you for listening to this ep, and hopefully we can all do our best in try and help what's been a really, really horrendous few weeks, really, for Australia.
Now, it started in September. But
yeah.
It's really elevated over the last couple of weeks, and we just wish all the best to those families affected. Luckily, you and I close to the city, so we're not...
A couple of hours away at
best. But
nevertheless, it hits home.
It does hit home hard, and we are seeing smoke, the effects of the smoke coming over, which is really sort of confronting to see. So
for those who do follow Sammy on Insta, you probably would have seen the post that you put up. No,
it
was real
smoggy and not good. So if you can, every little bit helps, and moving on, I think.
Yeah, move on to something a little bit more positive. And that was the FA Cup action over the weekend. Obviously, no Premier League action, so we're going to do our rolling team of the season, which I know everyone tends to enjoy. We'll get a bit of debate.
It's actually, those posts, our rolling team of the season, seem to be
they're the one that gets the most comments.
The most comments, definitely. And we love comments down at the Premier League Nightclub.
Oh, we do.
We love different opinions, because obviously Damon and Woody have their sort of set ways about what they think. And I kind of piggyback on the back of and do my bit of my own thing, but nonetheless.
What gets it most interesting, obviously, Sammy, we're not big high up journalists, but we
Not
read the abuse that some of the people in the media get, and so
Yeah.
now we're putting ourselves out there as well. And it's interesting. I actually don't mind that if people disagree with us yet. I'm sure it
Yeah.
might get a little bit more hard.
I mean, especially it's hard to not, because we're quite, especially we seem to, our teams generate around a couple of teams.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is, I mean,
Fair enough,
How
and-
else can it be?
Yeah,
But then
exactly.
again, we're always going to upset people who go for teams outside what might be the big 4 or 6, whatever you want to call it this year. Well, I don't really know, because it's quite up in the
It's
air.
all over the place. Now, Sammy, before we get started into things, if this was a usual game week, we'd actually be doing the quickfire results. And I've just come to realise
that we don't have the
we don't have the quickfire results man here. So,
So who's actually going to take that reign next
I'm
time?
going to ask you to do it.
You're gonna ask me to do the
I
quickfire
reckon
results?
you're quick with your words. I think I'd muck it up. I'm not quick enough with my words.
I can give it a go.
You're going to have to do it. So you've got a week to prepare.
It's just also putting me in the firing line for a Woody's whip. So I see what you're actually
No
doing.
doubt
there.
Woody will have an opinion on
you're
how
not,
you
you're not
do it.
actually going. You're not actually doing this out of the goodness of the podcast. You're just not lining yourself up for a
Exactly.
Woody smack. So
I'm handing over the responsibility to you. But let's just get stuck straight into the rolling team of the season. You happy with that,
I'm
Sammy?
happy with that.
Y'all ready for this?
All right. Now, obviously, just to quickly go through our last team of the season, we had Henderson in goal, Robertson at left back, Van Dijk and Soyuncu at centre back, Alexander-Arnold at right back, Ndidi, Maddison, and De Bruyne in central midfield, Raheem Sterling on the left, Tammy Abraham up top, and Jamie Vardy as a makeshift right winger.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so Sammy, this time, who's your goalkeeper? Because would you say that although Henderson hasn't been necessarily bad, I think a lot of keepers have stepped up their clean sheets.
I think people, other players in the league, have sort of come to a bigger body of work since last time. Good sort of.
Of course, Henderson missed a game against Man United,
game.
and when you miss a game as a keeper, it sort of steps you back.
I suppose, like a few players in this team, the form sort of dips and dives, and other players start playing better. But mine this week or this month is Schmeichel. He's had 8 clean sheets, which is the most in the league, I believe.
Yep.
And that's pretty much as good as it gets for me.
Yeah, I think one of the highest save percentages in the league as well.
And Leicester sitting where they are,
Yeah, I
it's
guess.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, it
so
is.
I think pairing that with the 8 clean sheets,
That's,
deserving for me.
yeah, fair enough. Well, in goal, I've got Dubravka, and now you might think, come on, Damon. Like, I know Newcastle have only got 5 clean sheets this season, but I think he's had 88 saves this season, the most in the league. Now, I did give my keeper last time around Leno because of that exact reason, most saves in the league. So I
That
do.
is fair enough. You seem to.
I
mean,
think I appreciate weaker defenses and good goalkeeping.
I think I can understand the choice because of how it's the goalkeepers down the bottom, those that are getting fired at the most.
Yeah, I think someone like
So-
Tim Krul as well had a very good season.
They get fired at the most, and he's putting up a good fight, but he's also having the most opportunities for saves.
Yeah.
So I'd be open to that, but the mistake at Old Trafford for the first goal, I'm sure you remember that as well.
Yeah, I do.
Just makes me sort of a bit iffy because Casper hasn't done that, and he's got the most clean sheets.
Yeah, I'll give you Schmeichel. We'll start with Schmeichel in goal. Done. All right. Now, Sam, my back four is exactly the same as last time. Do you have any changes?
I don't have any changes.
Yeah, I think since then, one big criticism was the fact that Liverpool weren't keeping many clean sheets. Van Dijk's up to 7 clean sheets for the season now. And along with that, Van Dijk scored that brace against Brighton at Anfield in a 2-1 win. So now he has 3 goals for the season.
And the fullbacks are just getting better and better, aren't they?
Oh, they are.
I mean, with Trent, who has been my guy the whole way through, I'm pretty sure.
That performance against Leicester a couple of weeks ago.
Unbelievable.
goodness
So
me.
he's got 8 assists now, 2 goals, and then Robertson on the other side with 1 goal and 6 assists. I mean, who else are you going to put there?
Yeah, I think those Leicester boys have probably dropped off a
They
little
have
bit,
dropped
especially Chilwell.
Yeah.
Pereira
as well.
Pereira probably defensively has been solid, but I think offensively you just can't get anything close to these
And
two,
then-
can you?
TAA, well, Trent Alexander-Arnold, I should probably say. We're not on that TAA basis with him. But 220 crosses as well. I spoke about it before when we did this last. I love watching him play. I just think he's so clean on the ball. The way he distributes it is just good to watch. He reminds me of like if De Bruyne was a defender.
Yeah, I know what you
I
mean.
mean?
You almost feel like he could play in midfield.
Yeah.
But just to finish off on the defence, I think we've got a strong passing defence. And you spoke about Soyuncu last week, how he had 100 passes more than the next Newcastle player. Do you remember that, Sammy?
I do remember that.
Yeah, well, he's had 1,400 passes, which is third in the league. But along with that, he's had 103 clearances. And when you look at how strong Leicester have been, it's like, surely there's not many chances for clearances to occur. So if there are...
getting them all.
He is the one getting them all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's right. And of course, found the back of the net during the past month as well for Leicester. So him and Van Dijk been unbelievable. No changes in defence. All right, midfield where it gets a little bit interesting because Sammy, you'd have to say there's been a few high performers.
There's been a lot of high performers, and one of those high performers actually comes from a team that I'm not very sort of normally go for. I'm more of a top six look at them, but it's actually the man from Norwich, Buendia. Now, you might think, being second last on the table, how can I possibly put a midfielder from the second last team? But tell you what, if they didn't have him, they would be last on the table, without a doubt. He's had 7 assists, which is third in the league for a team that barely scores a goal. Mm-hmm. He's had 13 through balls, third in the league. Sorry, 13 through balls, third in the league, and 50 tackles. So he's an attacking midfielder that gets back and can play that sort of defensive role
when required.
Yeah. So it's not like he's a one-dimensional, just an attacking player. It shows that he can stand up when they need him. Although he doesn't sit that far back, he puts the work in and he gets the tackle. So I think he's a good shout, even though they're so far down the table.
All right. Well, do you want to finish off your midfield then?
I'll finish on my midfield with Kevin De Bruyne because he's not leaving my midfield. I don't even care if he plays bad. I just love him. Yeah. So he's my favourite. He's 12 assists first, 7 goals. Like, what more do you want?
He's, again, a Team of the Year appearance again.
Yeah.
He has to be there. He's just
incredible. And then I'm going to finalise with who we had last time, and that's Ndidi.
Can I take it from here, Sam? With Ndidi, because he's my man. And 85 tackles first in the league, 55 interceptions, 44 clearances, and 2 goals and an assist. I think just this Ndidi, just renaissance. Not even renaissance.
Renaissance? What do you mean renaissance? What is the word used there?
I just think it's not quite the N'Golo Kante story because he's been a quality player before he came to the Premier League at Genk. Genk?
Oh, who knows?
I can't remember how to pronounce it. But I just think the role Ndidi's played, it was almost like every team in the league were looking for their N'Golo Kante. Yeah. And Leicester sold N'Golo Kante and bought another one. It's just like, where was everyone looking? Yeah. And Leicester have just done it twice in a row. So
They've got the magic beans down at Leicester.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell is going on. But...
And speaking of Leicester, my other midfielder, of course I had De Bruyne as well. My other midfielder is Jimmy Maddison. 14 through balls, which is equal first with De Bruyne. 6 goals, 3 assists. I think Man United are coming. I think it's almost... Look, I'm not going to get into transfer speculation now, but it's almost inevitable that he might find himself at United, a big club.
Which United would desperately need.
I think the big clubs still have that pulling power over Leicester City. I mean, regardless of where Leicester sit, I just think playing at Arsenal, playing at Man United...
An English lad as well.
Yeah, he knows the heart and soul behind the club.
He just wants to be... I feel as if United, Chelsea, any of them come knocking, Arsenal even.
It's hard to say
any of them
no.
come knocking, you're going to open the door and walk straight in.
All right, so how are we dealing with this midfield? Because I actually... Look, we can... I feel Maddison and Buendia are the ones we're comparing here, right? Because Ndidi and De Bruyne are locked in. I think Buendia doesn't have the goals, which makes me
It makes it a bit harder because he is an attacking midfielder.
Yeah, and he is playing for so much more weaker team.
But he also has 7 assists.
Yeah, that is true.
So having 7 assists and playing in the second worst team in the league is quite impressive. But I'm happy to give this one to you because you gave me the one previously.
You know what? Let's put that on hold. Let's come back to that. Because honestly, your points you've made, the 50 tackles gets me over the line with Buendia. So let's go back to that. I need some time to think about it.
All right, well then attackers, you can start.
All right. Now, last time around, I had Sadio Mane in there, and you and Woody almost dismissed me with disdain. And to be honest with you, that was appalling from you two. If Sadio
He's
Mane's
just made the team of the year.
if Sadio Mane's not in this team now,
He's in the team.
I'm out
He's
of the
in
podcast.
the team. He's
All
in
right.
the team. Let's
All right.
just
Lock that in. Lock that in. He's been massive.
11 goals. Like.
Just and important goals every single time for Liverpool. Isn't
It's
it?
just I feel like when he's on the ball, something happens.
Yeah.
With Mane, it's like when he's in the box. When he's got the ball at his feet in the box, it's just like something. Something happens, and it's just he's got that era about him at the moment where everything he sort of touches is turned into gold.
Yeah.
A little bit, which is kind of a rare thing.
And it's something special when the
And
opponents
he's-
are
and
already
he's-
dealing with Salah on the other
And
side.
he's kept Ronaldo out of the team of the year. So
Yeah, far out.
that's the first time that's happened since I've been playing FIFA for one.
There had to be a FIFA mention
Oh, of
somewhere
course,
in this
mate.
episode.
Team of the year dropped this week, and I can't not mention FIFA.
All right, and up top, I think we can both say Jamie Vardy safely. 17 goals.
17 goals, 3 assists. It's like his 2015 form
He's
almost.
flying.
He's
And of course,
absolutely
a
flying.
new baby in recent weeks as well, so congratulations
He's
to
going to
him.
be an absolute English gaffo, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be and is an absolute weapon of a man.
He's going to be a mad dog.
All right, I've also got Raheem Sterling, and I've chucked him on the right. And
Interesting.
yeah, I just think Sterling, 11 goals, he's been consistent all throughout. I know he's just got the 1 assist, but quite often he is that man for Man City. In a season where, to be honest with you, City have probably not been, well, obviously not been the team we're used to, but also a team that aren't, other than maybe that Watford game where they won 8-0, I can't sit here and say they've been absolutely hammering teams.
Yeah, they haven't. But based on your logic right then and there, 11 goals, 1 assist, I'm going to go Aubameyang because he's had 13 goals and 1 assist in a team like Arsenal that's struggling.
Oh,
Has been the struggler of the sort of big clubs for a while now.
honestly,
And he has honestly been the shining light in Arsenal through this rough period. The change of manager, he's kept his form.
look, I'm straight up just going to admit a lack of pre-podcast analysis from myself here. I'd love to know how many of these are penalties from both Sterling and Aubameyang, because I know Aubameyang is the penalty.
He's the penalty taker.
But I think Sterling's taken a few as well. And we always have this attitude here on the nightclub that a penalty, a goal is a goal.
Sterling gets De Bruyne feeding him. Aubameyang
Gets
gets
Xhaka.
Xhaka. So let's just...
Gee,
Mate, you saw early on in the season, it's just ingrained in my mind. De Bruyne's cross to Sterling, it was just... I'm not sure who it was against.
it was against Tottenham.
It was against, it's just the most majestic, magical thing. And then you look at Arsenal and you see them
Hang
with their
on.
midfielder
Sammy, I've just got a text here
from the pin.
from Woody. Woody's come through. He's going, "Are you guys recording right now? If so, I've just seen who you've put in your team of the seasons. Where the is Danny Ings?
Danny Ings.
Danny Ings.
Have
Dude,
we overlooked him?
I-
We've overlooked him.
I think we have overlooked him, and if Woody was here, he'd probably be
All right, let's get some...
smashing this
Has he sent
venue
through
up.
any stats from Danny Ings?
Well, he said 13 goals, second in the league. How can you not have him? That's what he's just followed up with. Actually, I think I've just looked now. He's also got an assist, and I mean Southampton. They're another team that have a lower table team, I should say, but come flying. All right, wait, hang on. How do we? I'm actually interested in putting Danny Ings in this team. Are you, Sam?
I mean, he's going to be away for 3 weeks. We need to let him have something.
Yeah, we do.
Some input, but
I'm going to propose.
it's
something.
not going to be without.
Let me propose something here, okay? Would you be willing to drop Maddison and Buendia and switch it to a 4-4-2 and have Mane
Madison and Buendia
out?
Okay, so both of our sort of
50-50s are out.
50-50s.
Because personally, I'd rather have Ings in my team than Maddison so far this season.
Yep.
I think it's... honestly, if it wasn't for
Ings
this...
speed ridiculous.
I know.
What the hell?
Do you know
Where did
he
it come
scored?
from?
It's not just like half his goals have been with his left and half with his right.
He's
Like
unbelievable.
it's just he's
Little
such
Danny
a
Ings.
simple striker, but gets it done. So how about Vardy and Ings up top, Mane on the left?
So we're talking 4-4-2.
Yeah.
The original formation we
Yeah.
should have stayed with
Yeah.
the whole time, and then we got funky donkey.
Probably. All right. So yeah, Vardy and Ings up top, Mane on the left, Ndidi and De Bruyne the two central midfielders. The same back four in Alexander-Arnold, Soyuncu,
Yeah,
Van Dijk.
That doesn't change.
Yeah, and obviously Schmeichel in goal. It's the right mid. It has to be either Aubameyang or Sterling. And I am just going to go ahead and say Aubameyang is not a right mid in the first place. And that's why I want Sterling. I just think you have to have Sterling in this team.
I don't think Aubameyang's not a right mid.
Yeah.
He can play right wing, but I don't know if he can play
and also
the mid role of coming back and, his distribution by foot isn't that amazing.
Yeah, I just think Sterling offers more around the ground. I want Sterling.
I feel as if you're having Aubameyang, you're having him to attack.
Yeah.
I feel as
with Vardy and Ings, is too one-dimensional.
I feel
this
as
team.
if you have, I don't know if Aubameyang is going to be as good as that midfielder.
Yeah,
a right mid has to play. Like, you're there to attack, but you also have to distribute. And
all right, so we settled on Sterling.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, that's the team. You can find that up on our socials on the Insta. Do you want to give people the Insta, Sammy?
The Insta?
Yeah. Do you know it off the top of your head?
Yeah, at Premier League Nightclub.
And you can find it on the Twitter at PL Nightclub. Now, it is time to get into our next and only segment for today because it is a bit of a powwow episode because there have been no games. And that is the usual winners and losers. Oi, did someone say winners and losers?
Sure did, mate.
All right, Sammy, it's our first winners and losers with just you and me. Do you want to kick it off?
I'll kick it off by asking you what your winner is.
All right. All right, my winner of the week is Tom Pope. Now, Tom Pope, you might not even know who he is, Sam.
I don't know who he is.
Tom Pope plays...
Wait, is he the keeper?
No, he's not. He's a striker for Port Vale. That's Pope from Burnley, I think.
That's Pope from Burnley,
yeah. Tom Pope is a striker for Port Vale, okay? Now, about a couple of months ago, he tweeted about John Stones and said, look, I know I'm a low league player and I know John Stones plays for England, gets paid 100k a week, and has gone to a World Cup, won league titles. But if I got to play on John Stones every week, I'd score 40 goals a season. Anyway, funnily enough, about a week and a half later, Port Vale drew Man City in the FA Cup. Anyway, they matched up at the Etihad this week, and look, City won 4-1, but Popey scored. He did score, and Twitter went absolutely bananas. Everyone was tweeting him, please say something. Anyway, after the game, he said, sorry, lads, I got it wrong. If I played on John Stones every week, I'd score 50 a season. Talking absolute smack. And, of course, after the game as well, Benjamin Mendy actually waited outside the away change rooms to get a picture with Pope to then banter with the Man City group chat.
Benjamin Mendy is literally the funniest club room man. The amount of stuff I've seen from him,
absolute character.
I watched that All or Nothing Manchester City series on Amazon a while ago now, and God, he's a funny man. Even when he was injured, he had that knee for a long time. He was a funny man. So.
Funny man. Yeah, but no, it's my winner just because it summarises the FA Cup. The lower league teams getting a chance to make a name for themselves, and we don't see many characters other than maybe Mendy.
It's like Will Grigg on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Will Grigg's on fire.
It's unbelievable, and yeah, I love the FA Cup for that. Anyway, Cookie, Semi, who is your winner?
So I'm going to stick with an Australian theme today, and I'm going to go with Sam Kerr. So Sam Kerr is probably Australia's, if you don't know, she's our best soccer player.
One of the best female players in the world,
yeah,
I would have
pretty
thought.
much. And she made her debut for Chelsea this week, and they secured a 3-1 win, and she got the keeper of the opposition team sent off. So good on Sam Kerr. And although she missed a few chances here or there, she's absolutely smashing it in England now, and is a real sort of hero for girls in Australia. And not only is it a massive milestone for Australian women's sport, but Australians in general.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I know Optus Sport obviously show the women's league, the women's Premier League at the moment, and you know it's just great to see that like getting notifications on the phone for Chelsea v Reading on Saturday night. You know, like those little things just unfortunately haven't happened in society for so long. So it's unbelievable that it's happening now. Actually, not unbelievable. It's just what should have happened, and it's great to see it. It is great to see it. All right, let's move on to losers, and my loser is a team I love laying into. I will admit that.
You do. We've both got losers we love laying into this week, actually.
But mine's warranted. Honestly, Everton come out in the FA Cup with pretty much full-strength team up against a Liverpool under-23s team. They haven't won at Anfield for God knows how long. I've seen Everton fans come out saying they're embarrassed to be a Blue. Merseyside is so red that even Everton fans' eyes are red, like through crying and anger. Like it has never been more red than this.
This is grim for Everton.
It's just ridiculous. They had a few chances, but realistically, Liverpool still played the better system, the better way. I know Everton have got a new manager, and I know they've hit form in the league a little bit, but regardless of all that, and in one of the most embarrassing days in Everton Football Club history to lose to a Liverpool team like that, it was on. The problem was it was on the cards after a few minutes. That's how poor Everton were.
Yeah, they're not going all that good at the moment, Everton.
Who are you laying into this week, Sam?
So I haven't changed it up from last week. I pretty much just copied and pasted it, changed a few words. So I'm going Tottenham again. So Harry Kane got injured in the FA in the Cup game, which is just another setback in what it's been an absolute season from hell for the Spurs. Mm-hmm. They've just had setback after setback, and they're not playing good football together. And
3 months out with that hammy, I think.
3 months he's gone now, and I don't know where that leaves Tottenham in their race to get into Europe. So,
well, also worth mentioning, I think Jose Mourinho, when he first came in, they asked him about the squad depth with the likes of Son, Lucas, who are you going to play up top? Are you going to play Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen as out wide to maybe let Kane rest? And he basically said, I cannot rest Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Well, now he's going to have to rest him for 3 months. So
have to do something about
it's going to be really interesting the way and of course Jose's had a history of playing with big strikers, your Diego Costas, your Romelu Lukaku's, to hold up the ball for his counter attack. And so I don't know how he's going to do it without Harry Kane, his main man. So that'll be really testing for Tottenham. Of course, Drew as well, which means they have to play another game.
Damon, a bit of a weird one.
All right.
I've been poking around social media and Twitter, and I've come across this thing that I'm not actually too familiar with, and I'm not sure if you will be either. But
all right, hit me.
What is this about £40 million and Jesse Lingard?
Is this how we're seriously going to end the show?
This is how we're going to end the show. Because I've seen it and I think it's hilarious because they're like, we'll take...
Well, we're steering back to the Jimmy Maddison thing a little bit here about how apparently Man United have offered Jesse Lingard plus 45 million for James Maddison from Leicester. Now, I guess everybody has their views on Jesse Lingard and obviously his recent form, and by recent I mean past year.
Yeah.
But I just... obviously, the comedians of social media had an absolute field day with it. So I think that's what you're getting at, Sam.
I am getting at that.
But I'm going to try and take the serious point of view here. It's actually funny you do mention Jesse Lingard because it is worth mentioning that Raiola, the player-manager, who's the manager of Paul Pogba, and who basically is one of the most difficult player-managers to deal with. He's sort of like the Ralph Carr of the Premier League.
The Ralph Carr of the Premier League. All right, fair enough.
For the AFL...
Gives away absolutely nothing.
Yeah, for the AFL listeners out there, you understand where I'm coming from. But I would say that now that Jesse Lingard has signed with him, reportedly at least, I just think it's a bizarre move for a player who already is having trouble getting so many people on his side to sign with the bad guy of football management. It's a bizarre move, and maybe that means Jesse might be on the move, and whether it's to Leicester or somewhere else, I'm not sure. But I actually can see Lingard leaving and Maddison going to United, but I'm not sure it's in a swap. I think it might be differing clubs.
Interesting. Well,
so, yeah, that's how I want to wrap this one up. I'm actually glad you mentioned that, Sam, because it's hard to talk about the transfers in January because so little really happens. Obviously, we talked about it at the start of the season, but it is quite difficult. Obviously, there's always going to be wish lists, but quite often not a lot happens. So if anything does come up for January, we will 100% be on top of it. But, of course, we've got to do it within reason. We're not going to be dedicating outrageous amounts of time per podcast to the transfers. When they come along, we'll deal with them then. Anyway, Sammy, I'm happy to wrap this one up. Obviously, just a little powwow today. We have a few guests actually lined up.
We do.
In the near future. We're not going to give them away
yet.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Come on, we're not that. We can't guarantee guests in. We don't get them to sign contracts for us yet. They're just doing it out of the good of their heart, and we're really thanceytful for that. They don't get paid or anything like that. So to all the guests we've had on, it's been unreal. So
and it's the constant communication as well. Yeah. They're not just coming on the pod and talking for half an hour. We're in communication, they're giving us advice, and that advice again makes this podcast better for all the listeners.
You guys that listen to us. So thank you so much to all of them.
And sorry this one wasn't too long. lads and females. But
thanks to all you, and if you can donate,
back on those
onto the
bushfires. Make sure you donate.
Really important. So every dollar, even if you want to donate 50 cents, like it's going to
Everything
go
counts.
further than you can imagine. So
keep an eye on those socials at Premier League Nightclub on the Insta and at PL Nightclub on the Twitter. Sammy, a few more socials might pop up over the next month.
I want to try and get a TikTok.
All right.
I'm actually
if a TikTok jumps up, we're going to pound the other socials with it.
If there's something that I feel like we could do a TikTok of, just to get, because no one knows what we look like, really, do they?
Yeah, I know. I think our cover photo on Twitter shows us a little bit, but it's a really old photo.
It's a really old photo. So maybe we can get a TikTok going or something stupid like that, just for a bit of laughs. But
we'll see how we go. Anyway, Sammy, thank you for a great episode. I think we did pretty well with just us two. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. I thought we did all right. I think Woody was worrying about how I'd hold up.
Yeah, and also just on Woody, apologies for him yelling into the mic last week.
Yeah, he's useless.
Yeah, so hopefully this one sounds a little bit better.
Mr. Perfectionist stuffed it up.
Exactly. All right. See you, everybody. Thank you. I hope you had a great start to your year. We'll see you next week.
Bye.